Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I am Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, and that means it's time for Matt Trabold to join us. Matt, thanks so much for climbing on board.
Thanks for having me on.
Now, we've been doing this for a while, and it seems like there's one thing we consistently can talk about. It's the Bishop Kearney Girls basketball team, and this year, no exception.
Bishop Kearney Girls Hoops has always operated and partaken in the exceptional. Even with two Division I commits sidelined this season so far, BK hasn't wavered from that exceptional. Seton Hall commit center Sanaya Wilson has not been able to play this season thus far due to a hurt hip, plus Niagara commit guard Mariana Freeman was sidelined as well not long into this season. But Kearney still began the year 4-0, all against big-name teams. That's Gates, Schrader, Mercy, East. Wilson and Freeman may be out, but half of the senior quartet of top-flight talent that has been playing together for years and years is still available and thriving. Camille Wright and Taylor Norris. Another leader is junior guard Kaya Good. We talked about her with soccer not too long ago in the fall. She is in her fourth year contributing on varsity. 6'1" sophomore Cadence Hadley, who was on Brighton a couple years ago. She is having a breakout season, especially down low, without having that Seton Hall commit in the middle. Another interesting student athlete on the roster these days, the 8th grade transfer guard from Victor, Leasia Wilson, who has what it takes to also be, a lot with these names that I just mentioned a second ago, be one of the best ever to come through this storied program. It is no surprise Kevin Shepard has another supreme squad this time around. The team has really had a chance to show its depth here in 2021.
Well, on the boys' side of things, we talk about the Kearney girls being so dominant and always being a story. Talking about the boys' team that's cut from the same cloth pretty much as far as East.
If the state tournament had happened last season, East High boys basketball was one of the tip-top candidates to win a state title in Class A. Despite their leading scorer from last year, Zachariah Harris-Scott, now being graduated, as well as another captain, Kiori Barley, the 2021 Eagles are still an absolute powerhouse with how much talent returned and with a big-name addition on top of that coming in this year. Replacing Harris-Scott in the middle is 6'8" McQuaid transfer Darren Blocker Jr. He had his share of good showings with the Knights, but now he's grown himself into a major candidate for Section 5 boys basketball MVP this year. He's so much more, wonderfully confident and aggressive on the court this season. Plus, now he's a fluid jump shooter from all levels and can bring the ball up the floor if need be. He's getting D1 interest from Hampton, and that list only going to grow. Speaking of D1 talent, 6'4" junior guard Damani Barley, son of head coach Daryl Barley, we've talked about him before. He's getting offers of interest from a couple handfuls of D1 programs, with UB and Hofstra joining most recently. Powerful 6'4" junior backcourt player Justice Ross Simmons also is very much on the D1 radar with his unique skill set. Then rounding out that starting five, there is just so much talent. It's two more of the best guards in the state in Clinique Jackson and Kai McCullough.
Going from dominant hoops programs to a dominant hockey program. Tell me about them.
The Section 5 hockey team I highlighted last week on the show, the Penfield Patriots, their only loss halfway into the season this time around was the defending sectional champ Victor. That's who I'm talking about today. Similar to East Boys Hoops, the Victor Puck squad easily could have hoisted a state championship trophy in 2020 if a pandemic did not shut down the end of the state playoffs. The Blue Devils had already began the state postseason bracket with a 4-0 shutout of Syracuse City there in 2020. In the first 2 weeks of this current campaign, Victor rallied from losing to Webster Schrader in the season opener to a winning streak of 5 games. Junior forward Colin McNamara leads the team in scoring this year. He's replacing the graduate Jack McCandless in that regard as that top scoring threat. McNamara has already eclipsed his scoring total from last season in just a handful of games. You cannot talk Victor Ice hockey this season without the dude in net, Garrett Simpson, and his spectacular goalie bucket with the Simpsons family, the cartoons. I'm sure his family is also worthy of being on a bucket. So he's got that on the back of it. And he had a shutout versus Churchill and was top 3 among consistent starters in the section in goals against average at the halfway point of the season.
So I wonder if after he makes a great save, does they all go up to him and go, "Doe!"
I was going to say, dough is what those other guys are saying for sure.
Hey, Matt, awesome stuff, man. Thanks for hopping on board once again. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me on.
We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this.